Hey guys, Mr. Senior, we're going to do today's lesson. Let me go ahead and pull it up for you. All right, so what we're working on today is we're kind of calculate the rate of change. So I'm going to modify this a little bit from what our steps say, just because I want you to have an idea of what the rate of change is in comparison to constant of proportionality, like what you guys are used to. So rate of change, which is your slope. So all year we've told you that constant of proportionality is also known as like a slope. This is expanding to what you're going to be doing in 8th grade. So the slope is the ratio of two related changing quantities. So it's not just looking at one point anymore. We now are going to be looking at 2 points to find the change between the two. Okay, so we're still using the same kind of idea of k is equal to y over x. The only difference now is we're calling this m. So slope is m. We're not using k anymore. Slope is m when you get to 8th grade. Y is still on top, but the difference is now it's your change in your y and your change in your x. So it's a change now. It's not just 1 point, it's going to be a change. So the change in y is still on top, change in x is still on the bottom, which we can see right here. M is your change in your y values over your change in your x values. We're still having y over x here. So in this case, we have those 2 points where what we're doing is we're figuring out the change. We have the same thing also on our table. We're going to see a change as well. So I'm going to walk you through a way just to kind of see the change and how to get to this. I'm not going to use the formula, even though there's a formula in the steps. I'm going to wait till you guys get to 8th grade for the formula, but I want you to have a basic understanding of what slope is. That is the goal of what today is. All right, so we're not going to be using any of this stuff here. We're not going to be focusing on that today. Okay, I just want to see a change. All right, so we're looking at our change here. I know m is equal to the change in y and the change in x. I'm just going to put c for change just because I don't have room to write it out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a point. So I see I have a point here and I have a point here. So let's just look at the change. So change in y. I know y is going up and down. So what was my change here going up and down? I noticed first it's going down. It's not going up. All right, so from the y, it went down to the 60. It was 70 and it went down to 60, which means this went down 10. Because it went down, it's a negative. Since that's my change in the y, I'm going to go ahead and put negative 10 because it went down 10 on the y. So now I need to do the same thing. So this point was here at 0, and now all of a sudden it's going over, but it's going over 1, 2, 3, and 4. This went 4 in the positive direction, so as a result, this is positive 4. So the next thing we want to do is simplify this. Okay, so we don't want to just leave it as negative 10 over 4. We want to simplify this as possible. I see 2 as a factor on both of these, so I'm going to divide by 2 and divide by 2. This time we want to be simplifying based on common factors inside. We don't want to just go divide the numbers. Okay, we're not going to divide the numbers. We want to leave this as a fraction. So m in this case is equal to negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So m here is equal to negative 5 over 2. This is your change. Okay, this is the slope. This is how these points changed. Okay, it went down 10 and then it went over 4. That was our change. So go ahead and pause your video and you're going to do the one on the right. So one on the right, I'm going to pick 2 points. I like picking points that I know have something going through them. So I see there is a point that goes through right here at 1 and 100, and also here at 5 and 400. So the first thing I'm going to do is I know m is equal to the change in y. Change in y is on top, so let's see, y goes up and down. I know we're going up 100, 200, and 300. So we went up 300. If we go up, it is positive. So it went up 300. The next thing I need to go over. So it started at 1. It went over 1, 2, 3, and 4. It went over 4. So now we're going to go ahead and simplify this. So I see I have a common factor of 4 in this case. If I divide these both by 4, m is equal to 75 over 1. All right, so if I divided 300 by 4 and 4 by 4, we are left with 75 over 1. This would be my slope. All right, moving on. So in this case, we have a table. Okay, so tables are a little bit different. We can look at them a little bit different. So x, from negative 3 to negative 5, what happened here? Did we get bigger? Did we get smaller? So I see I started at negative 3 and I continued to go more negative, I went -2. I went a -2 in that case. So over here, that was my x. X is on the denominator, x is on the bottom, so I'm going to put that change on the bottom. So my y, we went from -27 to -43. I see this still went more negative. Okay, we went more negative. So then I need to figure out the difference by subtracting. And we get -16. So now, because that was my change of -16 over here, I'm going to put that up top like I did. I can go simplify this. So negative divided by negative is a positive. So m is equal to positive 16 over 2, which ends up becoming 8 over 1. Oops, that should not be a decimal. That was just my finger hitting it, sorry. M is equal to -8 over 1. Okay, so we had that negative from -2 on the x, and then change of -16 on our y. Y goes on top, x goes on the bottom. Once we simplify that, we get positive 8 over 1 for our slope. So we're going to pause your video and try the one on the right. So one on the right, from -4 to -6, I can see we're getting more negative, and that is -2. We went 2 more, and it's still more negative. So over here, -29 to 41, I see that's getting more negative, and it's getting negative by 12 more. So now when I do this, m is equal to my change in y, which was -12, over my change in x, which is -2. Simplifying this becomes positive 6 over 1. So m is equal to 6 over 1. This is what my slope would be here. All right, so that's all we have for today. I know this is new. I know this is different. I know this is short. I know it's quick. Work on this by yourself. If you get stuck, join my tutorial, and then I'll help you through this and answer any questions you may have more individualized for you. All right, so have a great day. Do your best, and come see me if you need me.